Welcome to Operation End Times. I'm your Jedi warrior for Jesus, Bent Hellestead. And this is the Venus Conspiracy 2012 Part 666. The news, my friends, there's good news and there's some really, really bad news. I'm going to start with the bad news. The bad news is time is running out. The hour is near. I'm going to take you back to the beginning. You know, that's when that old serpent first showed up. The first thing out of his mouth was a lie. You know, he said, "Go ahead and eat of that tree over there, because you will know good from evil. You will be as gods." And you know what? It was a big lie. Because you know what? We're not God. And here's the scarier part. We may not know good from evil. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, bless the Lord, bless Jesus, because he's given me some gifts, some intuition, some discernment. He's allowed me to be a vessel. But today, this might be the wrap-up of the Venus Conspiracy. Dark days are upon us. Darkness is coming. Darkness is going to spread. And the reason for it is we got a thing inside of our heads called the pineal gland. And it is a very important part of who and what we are. And it's like when you plug, when you're plugging into the internet, whether you got wireless, you need a receiver on your computer. Or, back in the good old days when everything was hardwired, you plug in your Ethernet cable. But that's what your pineal gland is. It allows you to plug into God, plug into light. And you know what? If your pineal gland is healthy and you're firing it on all cylinders, life is good, you're probably thinking positive, and you can be doing all sorts of glorious things, including, giving all glory to God. But I'm going to tell you, this is where the conspiracy kicks in. Somebody out there wants to shut our pineal glands off. And once your pineal gland is shut off, you'll be in total darkness. And if your pineal gland's shut off, maybe the only thing you're going to be able to receive is darkness, because maybe there's some dark force out there. I don't know. But you don't want any part of the darkness. The conspiracy itself, it started at the beginning with Satan, the first lie. So here's the more bad news. Everything, it's all a lie. All of it. Everything you see around you is a lie. Your life is a lie. The frame you built, the picture you made of what you thought was life, it's a lie. The deceiver has pulled the wool down over our eyes. Believe me, I have a hard time believing it myself. I'm sitting down at the park the other day, and I'm sitting there looking at some parents and kids playing baseball on just a beautiful day at the park, and I'm thinking, man, what's wrong with this picture? It looks beautiful. But the truth is, you could go back to my wilderness videos, because that'll help explain it to you. But it's the world we're in, which is a big lie, where God's not in the center of it. God's kind of on the outside. He's an afterthought. Whereas the world we need to be living in is where God's in the center and our pineal gland's lit up, and He's the first thought in the morning. And He's with you the rest of the day. And He's driving your life. But you know what? Most of us are driving around thinking we're doing okay, paying bills, going to school, picking up the kids. Our lives are very busy. But is that the life that God wanted for us? Or are we just slaves without even knowing about it? I believe there is sinister forces out there. The Illuminati, hell, the churches, NASA, our government. You name it. The Freemasons. They're all in on it. It's all darkness, man. You look behind the curtain like the Wizard of Oz. Look at the wizard. That's why they got all their pyramids with an eye, all-seeing eye at the top. Because they're lining up with the dark side. Our pineal glands, they're trying to shut them off. You know, the new Orion shield for NASA, that's what that's for. But you know what? If you want some more concrete evidence, man, you know, one of the biggest things that shuts down your pineal gland is fluoride. And they've been putting it in our waters our whole lives. We've been drinking that stuff. And you can look up the pineal gland. They'll say one of the biggest problems with people in the pineal gland is it gets calcified, all crusted over, and doesn't want to work no more. You know, the chemtrails everybody's seeing sprayed in the air, that's what they're doing up there, man. They're putting chemicals out there which is going to stop the rays that we need for our bodies, for our pineal gland from getting to us. You know, they put it everywhere. They put it in the drugs for our kids. It's in Ritalin. Ritalin shuts down your pineal gland. And you know, all those commercials for all those drugs you see on TV nowadays. Oh, I ain't getting no sleep. Here's a pill. Take this. Or, you know what? I'm not sexually active. Take, you know, some Viagra. All of that stuff, man, is shutting down your pineal gland. You know, pretty much everything we eat. You know, all the hybridized, you know, food that's been genetically altered, all of it is bad for us, man. You know, but all of it is a big lie. And when it was presented to us, it was presented as a good thing. It was like, oh, hey, we're going to put fluoride in the water because it'll help your kids' teeth. We're going to genetically modify your complete food supply because we can grow bigger, better, whatever the heck it is, that's more resistant to bugs, that, you know, is bigger and fatter and feed more people. But you know what? There's deception behind all of that because the truth is all that hybrid stuff, you know, will kill you. And that's why they actually allow natural stuff to be in the stores with the unnatural stuff, because if you eat at least a little natural stuff, you'll stay somewhat healthy. But the bottom line, this stuff's been going on forever, and it may have already happened to us once or twice, I have no idea, but they want to shut our pineal glands down, make us into a bunch of zombies, man, to a bunch of lifeless slaves, because that's what you're going to be, a slave to the darkness and whatever horrors that's bringing. But you know what, that's where the good news kicks in, man, is because our salvation is at hand as well. The key is making sure we're lighting up our pineal glands. You know, you'll have an epiphany, man, and you'll be singing praises to God. And you know what, that's going to be vitally important in the near future that's coming right at us, man, is you better be ready to sing to the Lord. When the darkness comes, you know, when I was a little kid, one of my favorite songs, man, when I used to sing as a little kid in church was, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." And it was like, don't let Satan blow it out. You know, as a little kid, why was that ingrained into our heads, man? It was a warning for the end times. It was saying, for God's sakes, fire up your pineal gland. But you know, it gets way crazier than that, you know. I won't even go into the details because I don't want this video to go that long, but you know, the pineal gland, you know, the pine cone is kind of a symbol of it, a cone, a pyramid. So it's all tied back into the pyramids, the all-seeing eye. Now, you know, the dark side, who knows what the heck they're doing with those pyramids, because if anything, they just kind of took them over and they're trying to use them for their own nefarious purposes. But I'm going to tell you, my gut feeling, my intuition is that those pyramids were actually built for a good thing when they were originally built, man. Probably built by the angels themselves. And you know why they were put all around the world? It's because it's a reminder to us to light up our pineal glands. That's why they're all aligned to the stars, because they're going to get lit up, and it's telling us, wake up and light up your pineal gland before the darkness comes and snuffs you out. You know, the one world, the new world order, All that stuff, the oneness of mankind, that's all about, that's right back from the Tower of Babel, saying we are God, we're going to climb up the ladder, the portal, we're going to assault, we're with Satan, we're on our way, we're going to take on God. Don't do it, man. Stay away from the darkness. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. You're sitting there, your head's spinning, you're thinking, what the heck can we do? There is good news. One, Jesus is going to lead the way. Two, part of it is like, eat the right stuff, man. All the good stuff for you. It's fruit like apples and oranges and almonds and bananas and rice and ginger. There's all sorts of good stuff. Do a little research out there, man, and say, how do I feed my pineal gland? And then maybe try to stop taking any of that stuff, fluoride, MSG. If your kid's on Ritalin, get them off of Ritalin. If you're taking any of those sleep medications, get the heck off of them, man. You're being dragged down into a pit you can't get out of. But what I'm going to tell you, man, the truth is, we got to get out of it. So Jesus, He's calling us. He's calling us as loud as He can. He's saying, come out of Babylon. So prepare for the way of the Lord. Exodus, that's right. Leave Babylon. Soon. I don't have a date for you. I'll tell you that. But you know what? Start getting your life in order. And I don't care how much you love your life, your job, taking the kids down to the ball game. Because in the long run, when destruction comes, you know what? The park down the street, that's where destruction is too, man. So we got to figure out where in the wilderness there's going to be refuge, man. All right. May God bless you all. Open your eyes. I'll let you hear what's being said here. Maybe you'll have an epiphany. I did. My eyes are open. All right. This is Operation End Times, the Venus Conspiracy, part 666. Don't be fooled. Don't be deceived, man. Wake up.